News, I'm Michaela Kamarek.
5 bonus Mercedes-Benz to be won in the Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery. Deadline is midnight Friday.
Older Australians are being urged to check their eligibility for a seniors health card. Both the federal government and Labor have committed $70 million to raise the income threshold for the scheme. This means another 50,000 people will be able to access cheaper healthcare and other services from the 1st of July. National Seniors Chief Advocate Ian Henschke says it's a welcome move.
Most seniors who have got the maximum in superannuation in pension phase will be able to get access to this card. So we often hear people say, oh, I'm a self-funded retiree and I get nothing. Well, that has effectively changed as of today.
Just over 3,000 more COVID cases have been recorded in SA today and 3 women have died. 257 people are being treated in hospital, while Health Minister Chris Picton says they're taking steps to boost vaccination rates among children, with more than 60,000 unvaccinated.
We're running an in-school program that will be starting in the next few weeks, that will be looking at 40 schools across the states where we see particularly low vaccination rates to make sure it's as easy as possible for families to protect their children.
Qantas has announced it will purchase 12 Airbus A350s to supply new non-stop routes to global cities. The aircrafts are capable of flying direct from Sydney to London or New York by the end of 2025. The new fleet, which is part of Project Sunrise, aims to cut travel times and emissions. Qantas CEO Alan Joyce says the carrier needs to transform to survive.
We were 11 weeks from going bankrupt in 2020. But we also had to do this to make sure that we took the opportunities when the market recovered, and we could grab those opportunities.
There's been a rise in dog attacks on posties. 1,170 incidents have been reported so far this financial year, about 70 of them in SA. Rob Clothier from Australia Post says it's a problem no one wants.
I have been bitten a few times. It's not a lot of fun when you go to a house and you think it's safe to go up the driveway and knock on the door, and look, it's not the owner's fault, like, we get it, but you open the door up and all of a sudden that dog that's always friendly for some reason leaps out and takes a chunk out of your leg or your arm, and there's been cases of plastic surgery required from dog bites.
Ukraine civilians who have escaped besieged steelworks in Mariupol have spoken about desperate conditions sheltering from constant Russian bombardments. The BBC's Laura Bicker has more.
After 60 days in darkness, they can finally crawl into the daylight. Above ground, they pick through the rubble, the remains of their place of refuge. They've lived in a maze of tunnels below this vast steel plant for weeks, the only way to survive the Russian bombardment. Supplies have been cut off for weeks. More than 100 people have been allowed to leave. Their horror is over for now.
Turning to FIVEAA Sport.
Sort Mother's Day with gift vouchers for the best ladies' clothing. lesliesofgawler.com.au.
Brodie Smith and Ned McHenry were both at Crows training today after taking heavy hits on the weekend. They copped head knocks in the 59-point loss to GWS. They'll sit out round 8 due to concussion protocols. Adelaide play Carlton this Sunday. Assistant coach Nathan Van Berlo says their young players have learnt some lessons from the flogging by the Giants.
When you're just off and you don't execute as well as you need to, then you get taught a nice little lesson in that first half in particular. It's going to be a really good, learning experience for our group to show that if we move away from just some little things in our game, have a big effect on the outcome.
Jack Viney insists the Demons aren't getting ahead of themselves despite being undefeated from the first 7 rounds. The Melbourne vice-captain says they haven't beaten any sides currently in the top 8 and that keeps them grounded.
We feel like we're not firing on all cylinders, so we continue to look at our game, break it down, try and improve throughout the week, because we know that this competition is so brutally hard and we're not getting ahead of ourselves because there's strong opposition being St Kilda this week.
And Rafael Nadal is the latest tennis player to criticise Wimbledon officials for banning Russian players from this year's tournament. The two-time champion says it's very unfair on his Russian tennis mates as Russia's invasion of Ukraine is not their fault. Now checking 5AA traffic.
At Newton, burst Watermain Gorge Road near Avenue Road. Aldinga works on Main South Road near Malpas Road. That's affecting both directions. Speeds currently at 25. And Woodville Park works on Port Road near Kilkenny Road heading citybound. One lane closed and speeds reduced. Busy Lower North East Road, Glenburn Road to Heading Avenue. And we've got cameras trimmer parade at Seaton and North Street at Henley Beach. Bullying is not okay. Take a stand and help to raise funds and awareness on Do It for Dolly Day, Friday, May 13. Visit dollysdream.org.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast. Partly cloudy this afternoon, 22. A late shower or two tomorrow, 23. Wednesday showers, 16. And Thursday a shower or two, 16. Right now it's 22. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News Tonight.
A wild car chase across Adelaide.
No! Oh no!
See our exclusive dashcam vision. A game changer for Australian travellers as Qantas announces the world's longest non-stop flights. And mortgage rates set to rise. We reveal the Adelaide suburbs that will be the hardest hit. I'm Brenton Raglis. See the full story on 9 News tonight at 6.
$13.95, Adelaide's 5AA. This is Jade Robran. Pet Talk Back with Dr. Derek McNair.
It is 6 minutes past 3 o'clock and welcome back to our favourite vet, Dr. Derek McNair, who we haven't seen for what feels like forever.
I know I've had a couple, not a couple of weeks off working. We actually had, we're doing the warning before Easter. We had only 2 dogs in. It would be nice if there'd been none, but we had 2 dogs in who'd eaten a huge amount of chocolate.
And what happened?
We made them vomit up a huge amount of chocolate.
Okay.
So they were all good. They were all good, but gosh, one of the dogs was like a little pug cross, and it looked like it vomited up more chocolate than the size of the dog. It was it was amazing, but yeah, enjoyed the chocolate, but luckily we got rid of it.
And so how good that the owners knew straight away just to bring him straight to you.
Yes, because they saw how much had suddenly disappeared in the dog. The dog was on the coffee table. It had a lot of rather large eggs and many of the smaller ones with all the wrappers on them. So
that's what the scallywags do, don't they? They jump up on the tables and scoff it down.
Yes, they enjoy it.
Now, you dropped a little bit of a bombshell just now. We were talking about neighbours at the beginning of the show and talking about Scott and Charlene, how they were, ushered into the streets of Ramsay Street on the hush hush just earlier in the show. And Bouncer, the dog, you know him.
I do, and I'm never quite sure if I should own up to this, but I actually removed his manhood. So, yes, it's what vets do quite a lot, but they don't often do it to superstars. So, and I think, to my knowledge, that's the only superstar who I've actually
Thank goodness.
done it to. I was extremely nervous because he was a superstar when I did it, and I was very, very nervous doing it. So I thought, if anything bad happens, I mean, I get nervous anyway, but as I say, with Bouncer, it was one level higher of anxiety.
So the hands were shaking, knowing that if anything goes wrong here, the wrong snip, I've ruined the star of the show.
Yeah.
Yes. No pressure.
But I'm very happy that everything went according to plan, and he continued to go to ACT for many years after that.
I love that. Where were you? Where were you a vet in Melbourne at that point?
No, it was actually not part of the people who train him are based in McLaren Vale. A lot of them, the training is done in McLaren Vale. So it was actually it was actually many years ago when I worked in McLaren Vale that the dog at the clinic I worked at, Bouncer was a client there, and the trainers were clients there. So, and Bouncer came in.
Oh no!
I know. I got his autograph. He's beautiful.
His little paw graph.
Beautiful. Yes.
Now, Dr. Derek has been away for the last 2 or 3 Mondays, so I'm guessing there's probably a lot of pet questions out there. So if you would like to call in and ask Dr. Derek a question, or you can flick us a text message 0448 08 1395. He will be with us for the next few moments. So any pet questions at all? 8223 0000. We are going to be talking just briefly now about posties and dogs, they've hit the papers today because there's
Yes.
been an increase in dog attacks on posties.
Yes.
Why do you think that?
It's, I don't know why they say there's been an increase because there's been an increase in the postage. So postmen and delivery people are coming up to your door more often. But it's a thing, dogs get territorial.
Yeah.
So, and you have to be very careful, postmen or not, and it's hard for them because they often have to come into the garden. So you are actually stepping into a dog's their territory. So, and I've had it as well. I've had owners will say, you know, it reminds you of the Peter Sellers movie, but they say my dog doesn't bite. And then all of a sudden it goes, oh yeah, he has the odd snap, and they think that snapping's not biting. So a lot of people think their dogs are very nice, and they are very nice because they basically spend their life around their owners who feed them and give them a warm bed at night, so they love them, so they don't generally bite their owners. But somebody new coming in with, you know, I don't know,
Oh, they're protecting
big sack,
them,
big
aren't
parcel, might look like something. A lot of dogs don't like people with hats as well. So
Truly?
Yes.
How
come? I don't know. Some of them I think might have had bad experiences, and some of them might just be a bit frightened of them. But yes, they're just protective of the territory. And so...
And also, we've been spending a lot more time at home with our pets as well, with our dogs. And so there could be that increased, you know, paranoia and anxiety and that need to protect as well, perhaps.
Yes. And it sort of stems from that sort of separation anxiety where the dog's comfortable with all the family at home, as they have been for ages with all the lockdowns. And then suddenly the family goes back to work and the dog becomes anxious because it's left on its own. And that increased anxiety might, you know, be taken out if some stranger comes in, you know, carrying something they don't know what it is, and bang. So, you know, keep your dogs under control. Have them locked in the back garden where they can't get into the front garden if you're away, or inside the house. There's various things you can do. If you know your postman's coming at a certain time every day, then when the postman comes, get the dog to sit in its basket and give it a treat. So actually the postman arriving, the dog goes, yippee. Yeah. This is a nice time. I actually get a treat when he arrives. So they're actually happy that the postman arrives. So you can do things like that to try and have your dog being happy for the postman arriving. So, but if you can't do all those sort of things, you just need to have under control where it can't get to somebody who comes in your front garden.
And perhaps put that beware of the dog sticker up so that the postie knows that there is a dog there as well.
Yes, and then they maybe just drop it off at the post office and you can go and pick it up from there.
Sue has called in because she texted me a little earlier in the show with quite a nasty photo of many lacerations on her leg because Sue was once a postie. Sue, great to have you on the show. This was horrendous.
It was. Hi, Jade, and hi, Dr. Derek. And
Hello.
I'm not going to say Dr. Derek because Blakey paid me out mercilessly for doing that once, so I'm never going to do it again.
No, don't.
Seriously,
you just have.
It went through a whole skit, and he ended up having me sing Knock Blomin' at the end. I don't know how that actually happened because I don't even know the words. But
I feel like it could be on the cards again.
No, I don't.
Well, Roman and the Gloamin'. With the lassie by my side, I'm roaming in the gloaming. With the lassie by my side. Anyway.
Hey, and we are live streaming, so if you'd like to see Dr. Derek sing,
don't
jump onto Facebook. Sorry, Sue, we interrupted.
No,
Please tell us your story.
But before I do, can I ask you, have you changed your Facebook password?
I have.
Good.
And
okay, that's all
Sue
I
is talking about, and I was talking to Dr. Derek about this off air because I've had another rather awful person take my identity again. So we had 3 last week and then we got rid of them and they've stolen my identity again over the weekend. And this time have taken photos of my children, of my mum, of me.
Oh, no way.
And it's awful. And so they're using my identity to message people to say, hey, you've won this prize.
Oh, yeah, $50,000?
I know. So I am aware of it and I'm so sorry to everyone. It has made me feel sick, so we are taking it a next step.
As long as you change your password, that usually gets rid of them, I believe. That's my belief. I've never actually been hacked, but I know people that have, and I tell them do that, and apparently they just bugger off. So
well, it's not so much hacked. The problem is they've actually stolen my identity and set up their own account. So it's a little bit more difficult. But anyway, once it's all sorted, I'm going to close my Facebook account, and I won't have one. It's not worth it.
Oh no, reopen it just with a different password. That's all we have to do because Facebook's fun. So.
Well, this is true, Sue.
Anyway,
thanks
sorry,
for the advice. We have digressed.
I know. Okay, yes, I find dogs run up and down, even because they love to chase, don't they? And
yes.
so, yes, this was a situation in a very, very good suburb, upmarket and stuff like that. And there was a lady walking her dog off lead, which is fine because they can. But I made the mistake of reaching out to pat her, and she just latched onto my leg, like, really bad.
Oh, dear.
And the only way I could get away, okay, let's say she's on my left, and all I could do was throw the postie bike over to the right to get my leg away from her, which meant a lot of tearing and stuff like that.
Oh, yuck.
I know.
Jade's just handed me over the photograph of your leg with all the bites on. Oh, you poor thing.
I've still got scars, but not very bad. So, you know, I'm okay. And I love animals, so, you know, it doesn't worry me too much. But, it was very horrible at the time. I really thought my bone was broken. I asked my doctor to have an X-ray for me because up the top was a really swollen lump, but it wasn't. So, okay, and I have seen the dog since, and I just steer clear. I mean, I'm not a postie anymore. I haven't been for years. But, but that was my only experience with a dog that actually bit me, and it was like I said, it's sort of partly my fault because I reached down to pat it.
No. Well, yes, you shouldn't pat dogs without asking the owners first if it's okay to do that. But you also said that the dog wasn't on the lead, and then you said which is okay. Well, it's not okay. Dogs, it's actually legal for owners have to be under control of their dogs all time. So, you know, because if the dog bit, then the owner possibly couldn't immediately sort of try and take the dog off. So dogs should be in the lead all the time if they're on pavements and stuff like that. We've had cases that the dog gets a fright and jumps away from something in front of a car and gets bowled by a car. So for the dog's well-being as well, they should always be in leads. And I just hate seeing, and it happens a lot, people walking along the street looking really cocky and, you know, I'm so in control of my dog because the dog's walking off the lead, but that should not be happening.
Thank you so very much. And we've got Ron on the line. Hi, Ron.
How you going, Jay, Doctor?
Hello, good, thank you.
In the 60s, I was a postie in Peterborough, and dogs do not discriminate because my own dog attacked me when I was delivering mail to my own house.
Your own dog?
My own dog, yes.
Is that because he didn't recognise you?
No, no discrimination at all, you know, just delivering the post normally at your own house, and he just, she went mad and had a go at me,
That's a bit unusual, isn't it? Did she bite you at other times or only when you were in your postie?
No, only when I was a postie.
Naughty
very strange because they often, like dogs' sense of smell is so amazing that I would have expected that your dog would have recognised that it was you. And so...
No. Dogs just fake posties.
Okay. Okay.
Thanks, Ron. That is awful.
It is
Poor
awful,
Ron.
isn't it? Yes.
Hi, Jodie.
Hi, how are you today?
Really good. Well, you've got a question for Dr. Derek?
Good. I do, but I'd like to say Happy Mother's Day to you coming up as well.
Oh, you gorgeous lady. Thank you so much. And to you too.
Thank you. I was wondering I heard there's a injection for COVID for the dogs. Is that correct?
No.
It's not?
No. The overseas are sort of developing sort of vaccines for pet animals, but it's going to become... It's not really necessary, and I'm not quite sure why they're doing it, because to my knowledge there have been no cases of dogs or cats getting COVID in Australia. That was the case about 3 weeks ago, was the last time I checked. So there have been reports overseas of literally a handful of cases where dogs may have tested positive, but again, as far as I know, they haven't had any symptoms, and there's been no reported cases of dogs passing it on to people. With cats, domestic cats, I think, are much the same. There have been reports in wild cats, like at the zoos and stuff like that, that they can catch it a bit more easily and possibly can pass it on to people as well. But domestic dogs and cats, yeah, I wouldn't give it a second thought, Jodie, at the moment.
That's right. I just wanted to keep my dog safe, so that's fine.
Yeah, no.
Good on you.
If you do the normal vaccinations, the parvo, distemper, hepatitis stuff, that's still all you need at the moment.
Thanks, Jodie, very, very much. And we've got Natasha on the line who wants to talk to you about her Labrador. Hi, Natasha.
Hello, guys. How you going?
Yeah, good, thank
Very
you.
well, thank you.
That's good to hear. So we've got a 2-year-old Labrador girl, and we've recently just moved house. Her behaviour has changed since we've moved house. I understand that there is some change for her, but she's being a little bit naughty and a bit needy and barking a lot. I'm just wondering whether this is anxiety related.
Yeah, probably. This all started as soon as you moved house?
Yeah, in the new property. She's just, not at home there yet. And just,
How long ago did you move?
About 2 weeks ago.
Okay. Is there dogs next door and stuff like that? Do you have neighbourhood dogs that you didn't have before?
Definitely. There's not too many dogs around, but there is different people walking past, different cars going past.
Yes. It's almost certainly like barking and different behaviour is usually anxiety. Things haven't changed. Is she being left on her own for longer periods of time than she used to be, or is all that still the same?
Possibly a little bit more time on her own, to be honest.
Right.
Now, kids have gone back to school today and work rosters have changed, and
Yes. I mean, you could maybe, there's a few things you could try. There's the old standbys that I probably talk about every week. Collars called Adapto collars, which you can just buy over the counter. They're super, super safe, and there's no side effects with them. There's now, which I might talk about in the future weeks, there's now a new dog food that's out that has stuff in it that helps dogs with anxiety, or that can help dogs with anxiety. It doesn't help all of them, but it helps a lot of them. Maybe getting someone, if she's on her own during the day, to come and visit at lunchtime, take her out for a walk, take her to doggy daycare occasionally to give her excitement there. So give her new toys, give her snuffle mats to put her food in, things to occupy her time, because but it depends on that level of anxiety, Natasha, as to how much you do. But yeah, there's a lot of things you can try, I think.
Thank you, Natasha. George, our dog, moved into our new house when we moved, obviously, and I reckon it was a good 3 to 4 weeks until he got a bit of a grip and realised his surroundings. So stay in there, Natasha. 2 weeks is probably still relatively new, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's also if Labradors like food, so maybe get in new and exciting foods. So again, the dog sort of associates this new house with new and sort of better foods.
We're going to take a short break. Jason, Joy, Con, stay on the line. We will be back very soon.
If you were to come into an aged care facility and see what I see every day, you'd be heartbroken, you'd be disgusted, and you'd want to make a change too, because our residents deserve more.
It's disgusting that you haven't done your job and fixed staff ratios in aged care, Mr. Morrison. Vote to make aged care staff ratios law and help Samantha and her colleagues provide the best care for our elderly loved ones. Authorised by Elizabeth DeBars, Australian Nursing and Midwifery Federation, SA Branch Adelaide.
The kitchen is the heart of your home, and Spartan Electrical's heart is in quality kitchen appliances. Get the best kitchen appliance advice with Spartan Electrical, because the foundation of a great kitchen is the appliances. Spartan Electrical's appliance experts can help you select from the best brands at competitive prices, and they'll personally deliver to you too. Get inspired. Visit a Spartan Electrical showroom today in Campbelltown or Torrensville. Spartan Electrical, the foundation of your kitchen creation.
How far would you go for your dream kitchen? And how far would you go to not deal with organising all the trades? How about 15 minutes up the freeway to Balhanna Kitchens by Design? 2. The largest showroom in the Adelaide Hills. Custom build your dream with our award-winning designers. Plus, we can manage the installation and all sub-trades at a fixed price. Balhanna Kitchens by Design. It's not too far to go to make your dream a reality. balhannakitchens.com.au.
Introducing the Wheels Car of the Year, the fully electric Kia EV6. Leading the charge with over 500 kilometres of driving range, newfound levels of technology, performance, build quality, refinement and luxury. The judges were unanimous. The Kia EV6, Wheels Car of the Year. To find out more, visit kia.com.au.
Kia, movement that inspires.
Good morning, Helen. How was the weekend?
Good morning, Helen.
Helen, here's those reports I was talking about. Okay, I'll come back later then.
That was Helen, before she discovered the incredible fully adjustable Ultramatic bed. Now, Helen sleeps like a baby and wakes up like... Ultramatic beds. Truly life-changing. Ultramatic.com.au.
We told you they'd go quick. Over 70% of tickets in the Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery have already been sold. Don't miss your chance to win the ultimate $4 million grand prize and live mortgage-free in Henley Beach. There's a catalogue full of prizes, but with over 70% of tickets already gone, you'd better get yours now. Join the fight and get your tickets today at homelottery.com.au. Licence M141166. Jade Robran on 1395, Adelaide's 5AA.
And I'm joined in studio with Dr. Derek McNair from the Braid Veterinary Clinic. Let's go to Jason, who's called in. Hi, Jason. Thanks for joining the show.
Hello, Jade. Hi, the doctor.
Hello.
Doctor, I've got a 8-year-old golden retriever who's still got his dew claws, which I get checked every time he's at the vet 6 months, getting trimmed, that sort of thing.
Yes.
I've had other people who've been very surprised, saying how it's dangerous and how if they get ripped off they can bleed to death and blah, blah, blah. As far as I've worked out is, I think the American Kennel Association say they advise them to get done, but everyone else seems to say it's not necessary these days. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I don't think it's necessary. If I certainly have never heard of a dog bleeding to death from getting its dew claws. The worst that can happen is the nail can grow in itself because the dew claws, like the thumb.
What are the dew claws?
The dew claws are basically like their thumb.
Oh,
so
okay,
it's a little claw that's halfway up its lower leg, on the inside of the leg, and sometimes they're there, sometimes they're not. But because they don't wear down, the nail can continue to grow, and sometimes grows around in circles and grows into the pad, and that can be uncomfortable. And sometimes they can get caught in things. So keeping the claws short is a good way to go. I'd probably even it depends how quickly they grow. But no, Jason, I wouldn't bother getting them taken off. It's not necessary at all.
No, not when he's getting him checked every 6 months.
No.
Let's talk to Joy. Hi, Joy.
Hi, how you going?
Good, thanks.
Good. Look, I'm got a problem with my Burmese cat, who's absolutely gorgeous. We've had no trouble in 3.5 years that we've had him, nearly 4 years since he's been born.
Yeah.
And recently my son and his girlfriend had COVID, so they came to our house and brought her cat with him.
Right.
Well, our cat was a bit peeved about that.
Yes.
More than peeved. He actually started peeing on my son's bed.
Right. Yeah.
So unhappy about that. Then the son, and they get over their COVID. The son's going away, got all his clothes laid out on the chair and everything to go away, and the cat pees on the chair, on the T-shirts, because he's really upset with my son.
Yes.
So then, unfortunately, the cat came and stayed with us over Easter while they went away.
Mm-hmm.
I kept them apart, so there was no problems, and he's still continuing to pee on the chair.
Right.
Well, both chairs and under the chair, and I just don't know what to do with it.
Okay. Has the other cat gone now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
A few things you need to do. One is just take him to the vet or try and catch a urine sample to make sure there isn't actually a urinary problem there as well. Sometimes if there's crystals in the urine or an infection, that can encourage them to to wee on things as well. So if it happened at the time the other cat and your son arrived, it's almost certainly the old territorial thing where cats start marking their territory. So if that doesn't work, then there's a few things you can get. It is an anxiety issue, so get the cat equivalent of Adapto, which is called FIVEAA spray or a FIVEAA diffuser. I have one in my own house, not because I have any problems with my cats, but my cats just love it. One of my cats, Wilma, sleeps underneath it because she just loves the stuff, the pheromones that come out. So get a FIVEAA diffuser, get some stuff called Anxiety Homeopet, which is a homeopathic drops that you put in the back of their neck, and that can help as well. If it doesn't help, then you need to see your vet. There's various medications, and you sort of start with the weakest one and build up, because the strongest one, there's one that I find pretty well always works, but the problem with it is it can have side effects. It can increase the risk of diabetes, and Burmese as a breed are more prone to diabetes than other breeds, so that would be an absolute last resort. And if he's doing it in certain rooms, keep the doors closed and try and keep him out of that area. And get urine off spray as well, which is a spray that neutralises the smell for you and for the cat.
Beautiful. Good luck with that, Joy. What a cheeky monkey.
Stuart, a cat I used to have, used to do it. Stuart.
That's the best name for a cat
my
ever.
Cat, he used to do it, and I tried a few things, and I had to use the big guns with him, not literally, and the strong medication, and then he stopped. But yes, he was a bit of an anxious little guy.
Okay, so Joy, you have faith. If Dr. Derek can conquer it, you can too. Thank you. We've got a couple of messages and phone calls that we didn't get through, but we will keep them for next time that you are in. It's nice to have you back in studio.
Thank you. And yes, happy Mother's Day to you and all the mothers on coming Sunday.
Kind
but
of you.
Every day should be Mother's Day.
Oh, hear. Very kind of you, Dr. Derek. Thank you very much. And you can catch Dr. Derek at the Parade Veterinary Clinic. So if you Google that, you'll find all the details on the website. Coming up afterwards, we're going to be talking to Dr. Victoria Rawlings from the University of Sydney, the author on the report on female umpires in the AFL.
This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Good afternoon, I'm Michaela Kamarek. The federal opposition is promising to match the government's election pledge to expand access to the seniors' health card. 3 more people have died and we've had just over 3,000 new COVID cases in SA today. Australia Post is pleading with dog owners to make sure their pets are secured after a rise in attacks on posties. And Brodie Smith and Ned McHenry were both at Crows training today after taking heavy hits on the weekend. Partly cloudy this afternoon, 22. Right now it's 21. More news at 4 o'clock and as it happens on 5AA.
I was quite sporty as a kid, but always had trouble with my crunchy knees. And then one day the right knee completely locked. My GP advised me to see a surgeon, so I went on the internet and thankfully found the Joint Replacement Clinic, who explained I needed total knee replacement. That was the bad news. But because of my medical insurance, there was no gap, not a single expense. And with the new knee, I'm swinging the old clubs again.
Ask your GP or visit thejointreplacementclinic.com.au. Renewing mobility, restoring life.
When you first walk into one of Southern Cross Care's 17 residential care homes, you'll quickly appreciate why our residents have such a good quality of life. From coffee shops to health and wellness centres, libraries to gardens, we make sure that our residential care homes are vibrant places to live and visit. We focus on supporting residents to live a healthy, engaged and independent life, while staying connected with family, friends and the community. For more on residential aged care, visit southerncrosscare.com.au.
Our pets can be such a comfort, and to some of us they really are part of the family. So show them you care and head into your local Cheapest Chips for amazing catalogue deals out this Wednesday. There's loads of great deals like the Kelsey padded dog bed. It's a huge 1.3 metres for only $79. Or check out the Primo quilted mattress pet bed for $39. Call into your nearest Cheapest Chips and grab the Mega Cat Scratcher. It's a huge 1.3 metres tall for only $59. $15. That's a saving of $10. Or pick up a Hideaway cat litter box for $35. Plus, check out the Tough Buster pet toys for $12 each. And don't forget to pick up some puppy training pads, 200 pack for just $45. So get to your local Cheapest Chips for amazing catalogue deals out this Wednesday. Even pets live cheaper every day at Cheapest Chips.
G'day, Malcolm Blight here. Are you looking for a self-contained shower and toilet caravan? Knowles Island Star Caravans specialise in shower and toilet vans. They have a big range. All caravans can be custom built to your design to suit your individual needs. If you have been thinking of building a caravan to your specifications, place your trust in the hands of a professional at Knowles Island Star Caravans, 561 Salisbury Highway, Greenfields, opposite Mawson Lakes.
Knowles Caravans, Knowles Caravans, Knowles Caravans, Knowles Caravans.
This little guy might play coy, but really, he loves to be loved. Just like all the other South Aussie cats waiting to meet their forever family. If you've been thinking about making a furry addition to your life, now is the perfect time to whisk some whiskers back home. You'll find a range of feline friends to suit any family at Pet Barns and RSPCA Catville at Lonsdale. Meet them online at rspcasa.org.au.
Since I discovered how simple pulled pork is to make, I now have so many new quick and easy dinner options, like pulled pork sliders, pulled pork tacos, and pulled pork pizza. Check out all the new dinner winners yourself at pork.com.au.
$13.95, Adelaide's 5AA. This is Jade Robran.
Welcome back to the show. It's 25 minutes to 4 o'clock. A leaked document has described the abuse, both sexual and verbal abuse, female AFL umpires have copped from spectators and also fellow umpires. The experiences were described in a research paper by Dr. Victoria Rawlings from the University of Sydney. And she joins us now. Doctor, thank you very much for your time. Good afternoon.
Thanks for having me, Jade.
Could you quite believe what you were hearing when these girls and women spoke to you?
I think the thing that I've been asked that question a lot today. I think the thing that struck me is how it happened across so many places. In this study, we looked at 4 different regions: South Australia, Queensland, Victoria, New South Wales, ACT, and it was pretty consistent that some poor experiences were happening across those borders, but also across different levels of umpiring. So whether it be community umpiring experiences or at state league. Girls and women were consistently having poor experiences, and that was probably more consistent than I would have thought it would be.
I've read about some of the experiences across several papers today. Can you tell us some of them?
Yeah, sure. I mean, the reason this project came about is because girls and women are underrepresented in umpiring. Only about 10% of umpires around the country are girls and women, when we see a lot more girls and women playing football. And we're interested in, why might that be? Why aren't we recruiting more female umpires? Why aren't we retaining them? And what we found was that there were some cultural inadequacies for girls and women in umpiring. There was cultures that were operating that manifested in things like sexual harassment. Young girls and women were experiencing and receiving unsolicited nudes, sexual comments or innuendo at training. There was comments about their bodies that they overheard between other umpires. But also they were experiencing something which is kind of harder to talk about, which is a really abiding attitude that they weren't as good or they weren't good enough to be umpires. So they really, those judgments were made just because they were girls and women. Other umpires, sometimes umpire coaches, would engage in that, especially when they got appointed to particular matches. They would be told they didn't deserve those kind of matches, or they would be shut out by the group and made to feel really bad about themselves.
So stuff said to their face or behind their back, or a bit of both?
A little bit of both, and I think sometimes even if it was behind their back, they would get the sense that those conversations had happened when they were maybe in a different room or a different area at training. And they were kind of shut out and socially excluded in those ways. To the point, one of the umpires in this study felt it so deeply that she actually apologised to her group for the appointment that she had got. Oh, and no one should feel like that. These umpires work really, really hard to get their selections. They're really great umpires. and that they still feel bad about it because of the way that they're treated by other people.
Well, it's stupid, isn't it? Because, I mean, you don't get the job because you're a woman. You get the job because you pass the training, the testing and all of that. And whether it's a man or a woman, you're both equally as good. So you both get the certificate that says you're an umpire, whether you're male or female. It feels like, you take, 5 steps forward but then 10 back.
Yeah, that's right, Jade. And, from your comments then, you would make an excellent umpires coach, because some of the best coaching that these girls and women in this report said that they got was just when their coach said to them, you deserve this appointment and you can do it. We believe in you. And that's all they needed, because there were so many other people around them saying, you don't deserve this and you don't belong here and we don't believe in you. And that really, really cuts away at people's sense of themselves and their ability over time. And it makes them feel, anxious. Some of the young people and other umpires in this had mental health issues, and some had developed eating disorders because of some of the things that were happening around their treatment. So sometimes a really hostile environment for the participants in this study.
Did they feel they were in an environment where they could speak up?
Often no, and that's because, they're in the minority in this environment. They're sometimes experiencing hostility, and sometimes they're encountering things that they see from their coaches as accepting. So some of the umpires in this study didn't feel like there was anyone they could tell.
Yeah.
One of the umpires in this study encountered some pretty intense sexual harassment, but she didn't feel like her coach would understand, because he seemed like he was in this kind of boys' club with the umpires that were doing this. So eventually she just left umpiring. She just couldn't keep going with it. And, that's part of this equation. Why don't we have as many girls and women in umpiring? It could be because of these environments that don't allow them to exist in a way that allows them to flourish.
The AFL funded this research paper. You've obviously delivered it to them. Were they prepared for what was inside? What was their reaction like, Doctor? We presented this paper, the draft kind of findings to them in July last year, and then forwarded the study to them in August. I think some people, there was a kind of mixed reaction, because we presented this to different people across the AFL and the AFLW. Some reacted in a way that, we really need to do something about this, and some reacted in other ways. So it's just a different kind of different reactions from different people in there. So moving forward, will anything be done?
Well, we've put in 11 recommendations in this study to hopefully provoke cultural change. We really see a need for coaching education for umpire coaches, to just allow them the resources to be a bit more inclusive, maybe just showing them how they can change their language, how they can produce policies around change rooms, things like that just make everyone feel better about being in the group. And this would help reduce discrimination and build better environments for umpires. But just, changing language, changing change room policies, those things are easy, but they're a really, really good start to get the ball rolling on cultural change.
Dr. Victoria Rawlings, thank you so much for joining the program.
Oh, no problem, Jade. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. And the AFL said in a statement to News Corp that the research would form the basis of initiatives in the Women and Girls Game Development Action Plan, that the initiatives in the plan are designed to increase representation of women and girls in all parts of our game, from players to umpires to coaches and administrators, and are aimed at ensuring a safe, welcoming and inclusive environment for women and girls, including to lift the number of women umpires to 40%. So that's the statement from the AFL. We're going to take a quick break. Coming up afterwards, we will award the $50 Cheesecake Shop voucher. We will also talk to Rowey, find out what's going on in sport. And Bali has opened up. The first flight from Adelaide to Bali took off today. So what do you need to know? We'll talk to the experts in just a few moments.
Join us every Friday just after 3 p.m. when renowned Adelaide chef Chris Chalmer joins Jade Robran for the FIVEAA Food and Wine Show. Thanks to SMEG, seamlessly pairing performance with design. Taste the difference with SMEG and Sip and Save. They have the perfect partner for every dish.
Hello, Ian Henschke from National Seniors Australia. Australia desperately needs more than 400,000 extra workers, and we've got pensioners who want to help, want to work and work more. But we've got a confusing system that gives you a bonus for one day's work and penalises you more than 50 cents in the dollar after that. Make it simple, make it fair. Get rid of the pensioner work tax now. It's a win for pensioners, for business and for Australia. Sign our petition at nationalseniors.com.au.
$1 mattress upsize deal now at Harvey Norman. Purchase a selected Australian-made queen-size mattress from King Coil, Sealy Posturepedic, Sleepmaker or Beauty Rest, and for $1 more, upgrade to a king size. Now's the time to update your mattress and support local manufacturers and buy Australian-made. That's right, purchase a selected Australian-made queen mattress and for $1 more, upgrade to a king size. $1 mattress upsize deal. On now at Harvey Norman.
You know us for our bright blue vans. Metropolitan Plumbing, Electrical and Air Conditioning. We are the proud winners of the Product Review Award for Plumbing in Australia for 2020 and 21. Did you know we offer $0 deposit interest-free payment plans, have no extra charge for after hours and can also often be at your door within the hour? Metropolitan Plumbing, Electrical and Air Conditioning. Available 24/7.
Do you think a concert pianist needs a builder's licence? No. Does a chartered accountant need one?
Highly unlikely, Will.
Yes, but what about a house inspector?
Well, surely they need one.
No, unfortunately, there are no regulations in the industry that say you must be a builder to become a house inspector. Mike Pearl from House Inspect Australia is a third-generation licensed builder, and his team is the most qualified team in Australia for house inspections.
It's the biggest purchase decision of your life, so don't risk it. Go to houseinspectaustralia.com.au.
When you want a retractable door screen, you want uninterrupted views and natural ventilation combined with protection from insects. You want Phantom Screens. Our custom-made retractable door screens can be colour matched to your existing decor and span up to 7 metres wide. And they disappear out of sight when not in use. A screen that's there 1 minute, gone the next. From the hills to the coast and everywhere in between, let the fresh air in with Phantom Screens. Get inspired online at phantomscreens.com.au.
There's a lot of wonderful sounds when you're out on the road in your caravan. The wild things. The comfortable things, like a cuppa under the awning. But here's a sound you don't want to hear. Van versus Gumtree. If it does happen, speak to Walker Crash Repairs and get it fixed quick. Bev and Barry would agree, but they're up north on another trek. Walker Crash Repairs, your RAA-approved caravan crash repairer.
Jade Robran on 1395, Adelaide's 5AA.
And welcome back. It is 12 minutes to 4 o'clock, and after 4 o'clock it's Rowey's Sports Show, and he joins me now for a preview. G'day, Rowey.
Did you eat the half of the cheesecake
yes, I
shop,
gutsed
did you?
it. Yep.
Oh, Jade.
I know. How good does it look?
Oh, my goodness. Cheesecake
A
for Mother's Day. Is
layer
Mother's Day this Sunday?
Yeah. Quick
yeah.
sticks. You've got, what, 4 or 5 days
Good sticks. I haven't heard that for ages.
Quick sticks.
Do you say to the kids, this is my hit list, what I'm after?
Of course not.
Are flowers and just a couple little Haigsy and a cheesecake shop enough?
A cheesecake shop cake,
Would be
definitely.
perfect.
But no, all I want is
Is a
for
hug.
them to not fight.
Okay.
Constantly, all day, and nag me for food every 5 minutes, and then probably just those little homemade cards that they make at school.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
Do you know what? It doesn't get any better because the fighting does go away, but then the hand goes out for,
Money.
I need a car, I need rent
Oh,
assistance, I need
stop
a house,
it.
I need a wedding. Hey, Crows got smashed, they got outclassed. GWS was simply superb. They were another level. God, I enjoyed watching them in the second half.
They really played a great game.
How good were they? Crows just didn't rock up, sadly, so we'll cover that with Bix. And, well, Port grinded out a great win in Cairns. Started like a squashed cane toad. You ever been to far north Queensland and ran over a cane toad? They're not worth a burnt pie, those things. But, gee, you know what? They willed themselves. They've won 2 in a row. They've got Bulldogs Friday. Gee, they owe the Bulldogs, don't they?
Oh, come
7-2
on.
to 2-1 in that prelim. They owe them.
I tell you what, they need to rock up.
They do.
Didn't rock up last time.
We'll cover all that with Timmy G and your calls. We love your interaction on a Monday. See you at 4.
See ya, Rowey. You can take a slice of the cake with you if you like.
Oh, yes, please.
Let's talk to Lucy. Lucy has called in to have a crack at the $50 Cheesecake Shop voucher. Hello, Lucy.
Hello, how are you, Dave?
Really good. So you're calling in to tell me a little story about your mum.
Yes, it wasn't actually about the cheesecake voucher. I just wanted to share this with you. Ironically, I dreamt of my mum last night, and sorry, I'm a bit emotional.
Yeah.
I dreamt that she came to see me, and on her way out, when she was leaving, she turned around to say something to me, and she fell backwards and hit her head really hard on the concrete. So I've been a little bit upset because I was hugging her and crying and saying, you know, are you okay? You okay? She said, yes, I'm fine. And I said, I don't want you to go home, you know, on your own. Like, you need to go to a doctor. She said, no, I'm fine, because that was my mum. Anyway, my mum, just to cut a long story short, my mum had 9 children. She was the most amazing woman I have ever known, and people who know her say the same thing. It's not just because she was my mum, because every mother is special. She brought us 9 children up virtually on her own. I was 9. I was the youngest of 9. My mum and dad split up when I was 9, and the eldest one, she's 16 years older, the eldest one, so whatever. Because my dad was an alcoholic, and he used to do quite nasty things to my mum, and my eldest brother said, you know, like, we need to get out of this environment, you know, like, it's not good. And my mum, being the person she was, wanted to stand by my dad, but in the end, we had to, because it was a bit dangerous. So in all that time that she was with my dad, my mother brought 9 children up. She had 3 boys in 10 months, so she had twins and another one, and all of us were about 18 months apart. Aside from that, she ran a 7-day deli and fish and chip place. She fed all of us every night. She looked after her sick mum. My grandmother lived with us. She looked after her as well. Wow. And she had no washing machine, as all the people back in those days. No washing machine, no dryer, no disposable nappies, no dishwasher. And we always had a good, healthy meal every night, and while she was running the business and looking after all these babies. And she never once complained. She was riddled with arthritis. She never once complained. And every afternoon when we got home from school, she'd have a Vegemite sandwich for us with a hot chocolate. Sorry.
Oh, Lucy, she sounds so remarkable.
And we used to watch the Three Stooges and get a laugh. And because I dreamt of her last night, I'm just really emotional.
I can understand that. Oh,
she was such an amazing woman, what she went through on her own, bringing us all up. I don't know where she got her strength from, but she was, like I said, every single mother in this world is an extremely special person. But my mum never wanted, and we never had any money. She used to make all of our clothes, knit all of our jumpers. We've got family photos with all the, you know, the clothes she made for us, even with everything she had going on in her life. And I don't even know how, I'm beyond words to say how she did it. I don't know how she did it. And then she started to finally enjoy her life, and then she had a stroke. And, so I'm sorry.
Please don't say sorry. I am so thankful that you've called up and shared that story. She sounds like an absolute superstar of a woman, and she's instilled some beautiful qualities in you, Lucy, because I can just tell you're a remarkable woman as well. I am going to send you this $50 cheesecake voucher, a beautiful Mother's Day gift. It is a piece of cake from the Cheesecake Shop, and you can order online today. But thank you from the bottom of my heart for sharing that, because mums are amazing people, and yours just sounds super duper incredible, Lucy. Thank you. Well, after nearly 2.5 years of being locked out, flights to Bali resumed out of Adelaide today. It's one of our favourite playgrounds, and South Aussies are flocking back to the island paradise. But for many of us out there, we are newbies at travelling again. It's a different world with different rules and regulations. So is it safe? What can we expect? Well, Carly Cummins from Bali Buddies joins us from Bali. Carly, it's great to have you on the show. How are you going?
Hi, I'm really well. Thanks for having me.
So what's the situation like over there?
Look, it's the most exciting time ever here. There are big smiles everywhere you look around. Everyone's so excited, and it's so cute to see the people, the tourists getting back here after 2 years, and you can just spot a tourist a mile away, you know, the big smile on their face and looking around at everything. And yeah, it's a really fun time to be here on the island right now.
Everyone keeps asking me, Jade, what's the COVID situation like? I don't know. My mum's not back there yet. I haven't got any reports, but what's it like on the ground?
On the ground, like COVID, I think, I read the report today. I think there was 100-something active cases in all of Bali.
Wow.
It's not really a thing that anybody's even talking about much anymore. I'm no specialist, but there's definitely not a lot of cases around here right now.
And talk to me about flying in. What documentation do you need? Is it like the old days, or do you have to be prepared?
You have to be a little bit prepared. So at the moment, the Indonesian government's still requiring you to have a PCR test before you depart.
Mm-hmm.
So you must get it taken no earlier than 48 hours before your departure time of your flight. And it can't be a RAT, and it can't be just a government PCR test. It has to be an actual travel PCR test, which seems to be confusing a few Australians. I don't know what the situation is in Adelaide, but I know in some of the other capital cities, there's testing facilities at the airport with a company called Histopath, and they're about $70, and you can pre-book those, and they're really quick. You get your results like in 30 minutes or something like that. That's your biggest thing. When you arrive, you'll get a visa on arrival. You pay about $50 Australian for that, and you can pay in cash or card. And that will get you a 30-day stay in Bali, and you must have travel insurance.
And what are the beaches like? Are they just everything's beautiful, clean, waiting for us to all come over and shop and have a cocktail?
Definitely, it's all happening here. Like literally every day we see a venue reopening that may have been closed, for the last 2 years, and you see it pop back open. And this weekend is the big Muslim holiday, the Eid holiday. So there's lots and lots of domestic tourists here at the moment, and it's so cute. I'm down on Cindy Beach and driving here, like all these little market stores that I haven't seen open in a couple of years are all popped back open, and have all their singlets and dresses out the front. And, I haven't been yelled at in the street for transport, massage for 2 years. And now, they see me and they think I'm a tourist. And you hear that we're getting yelled out to us all the time now.
Oh, it's back, baby. Bali's back.
It's back.
Carly, thank you so much.
My pleasure. See you over here soon.
I hope so. That is Carly Cummins there from Bali Buddies. And a good website to stay up to date with travel and what you need with rules and regulations is welcomebacktobali.com. Well, we are going to head into the newsroom now. Rowey's Sports Show is up after 4 o'clock. Thank you very much for spending your Monday afternoon with me, and I look forward to talking to you again tomorrow. Have a fantastic afternoon. Bye for now.
Did you know that South Australian explorer John Horrocks was shot and killed by his own camel? His shotgun, still in the animal's pack, accidentally discharged as his camel moved to kneel down.